I'm back, and guess what? I had the babies. Yay! So I have a lot to tell you, what happened, how the babies are doing, and how this VSG is working in my favor. Thank you, Jesus. Stay tuned. And then there was me, Treyonce. Hey guys, thanks for tuning back into my channel. Yes, it's me in the flesh. It did not take long. It didn't take 6-7 months for me to get back here. I was so super excited to film this. Like, I could not wait for you guys to get an update of all that happened and all that went down. So let's get right into it. I'm not even gonna waste y'all time, okay? All right, so I am no longer pregnant. I had my surrogate babies, my surro babies, aka Lucy and Ethel, because that's what I used to call them. I had them unexpectedly on January 10th, 2020. And when I say unexpectedly, I actually went in with the parents for a checkup and to schedule a C-section for the babies to come. I was 37.5 weeks, so that's full term, and it's very typical for you not to go all the way to 40 weeks with twins. So we were ready to schedule an appointment. The original date was supposed to be, like for full term, 40 weeks was January 28th. But then we changed it to January 20th. And then January 10th came along, that Friday, and Lucy and Ethel, they pretty much was like, we ready. We ready to see our daddies. So what's up? So what happened was I went into my OB with the parents, and they took my blood pressure. And I actually had an appointment earlier that day for the NST monitoring, and basically what that is just to monitor the baby's heartbeats, and see if it fluctuates and if it stays consistent or not. So I had an appointment like at 9 o'clock that morning, and my blood pressure was completely fine. Okay, and then that afternoon I was to meet with the parents and do the typical ultrasound and all that good jazz, and then schedule our C-section and get prepped for that. Well, I had a cup of coffee. Sorry, you guys, I'm like trying to not get a cold. I had a cup of coffee, which is completely fine being pregnant. And then I went in between the time of my doctor's appointment. I went to have lunch or some breakfast with some friends and coworkers, and then everything was good. Like, everything was fine. When I got to my doctor's appointment, though, my blood pressure was like skyrocketing. And they were like, oh, no. We need to take you to the hospital to get this checked out. I got other things to do today, okay? I don't got time for this. Check it again. Check it again, check it again, check it again. Because I don't have high blood pressure, okay? I've never had high blood pressure. I haven't had high blood pressure this whole entire pregnancy. So why today are the babies showing out and my blood pressure showing up? Like, no ma'am. But we ended up having to go to the hospital, which was like right across the street. Me and one of the parents, he is like so supportive. He's like, don't drive your car. I'm gonna drive you across the street, just to be on the safe side. So we get there, check in immediately, and my blood pressure was just staying very consistently high. It was freaking me out a little bit. And they were like, you know what? We're gonna have these babies tonight. So get ready. No, I told y'all I had things to do. It seems like y'all not understanding, okay? Like, I'm not prepared for this. I don't have my overnight bag. I don't have my kids situated. The parents don't have their overnight bag. This is crazy. So what is going on? Well, that didn't matter. They were ready. Oh, and by the way, I'm so sorry. TMI, I wasn't prepared down there either, okay? I was waiting to the very last of the last days to get around the jungle, do a little Jumanji hunting and snatch up all them weeds. You know what I'm saying? didn't care. Yeah, we got the shaver. We're ready to get you prepped and everything. So I called my mom. She came, she got the boys together, got a sitter for them. And next thing you know, I'm on the operating table. I'm ready for my epidural, and in pops the babies. Picture right here. It was, let me explain my emotions, okay? Because people are asking me, like, did you feel any type of way when the babies came out? You know, how did you experience it? What was your experience? And being completely transparent and completely honest with you guys, I was so elated to see the face of the parent and his reaction. It was not like a first thing that comes to your head is let me hold the baby. It was let him hold his babies. But he was so concerned about me and like me like passing out because I was so cold and so like over this whole situation, and they tugging at my stomach while I'm over here, you know, trying to be happy for him, that he's holding my hand in one hand and then he's over here touching the baby in the other, because mind you, only one of them could be in the operating room. But it was just a joyous feeling to see that for him. And that was it, to be honest. Like, it's over, it's done. I'm happy for you. They're beautiful. That's I've achieved everything that I wanted to out of this process. So that was a great thing. January 10th, 2020, we have two beautiful baby girls, Lucy and Ethel, that's what I call them, or Ella and Aura. Beautiful. One was 5 pounds, 7 ounces. Ella was 5 pounds, 7 ounces, and Aura was 4 pounds, 8 ounces. So she was kind of on the small side, which is typical. So she did have to stay in the NICU just to gain her weight and get her lungs strong enough so she can feed on her own. Now, the next day. Yes. All right. So y'all know this, and I'm so sorry about my nose. It's running. Hold on. Let me get some of this good old water. So the next day in the morning when I wake up after the recovery and they get to spend the skin on skin attachment bonding time with the dads, they were put in a room right next to me. So, you know, we feel like family and I don't feel distant or whatever. I get to spend my time healing. They get to spend their time bonding. I was not in as much pain. I have a high tolerance for pain. Thank you, Jesus. So I wasn't in that much pain, but my mouth was so dry. Good God. It was like a whole sandstorm just swept through my gums, okay? Just too much. And I needed some ice. I needed some ice chips. I didn't want water. I know you can't have water, but I need like a couple of ice chips, right? Well, this nurse, sweet nurse, very sweet, she would not give me ice chips due to the doctor saying no ice, no water, no nothing until after. So she gives me this Q-tip with a sponge, like a baby sponge attached to it. And I'm like, what is this? And she dips it in a cup of water and she says, suck on it. Bitch. Where? That's how I was feeling. I wanted to cuss her out with this goddamn candy looking sponge Q-tip, whatever the hell it was, right? So I sucked on it for a couple of minutes. I'm sucking too. I'm dipping and sucking, and like a whole, y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, then she leaves. Her shift is over. The next nurse comes in. She finally gives me some ice chips, and it was like heaven. Can't even sing it. I'm so sorry. It was heaven, okay? But I only got like a cup of that. And then she was like, okay, let's get you up. Let's get to walking, get all of that, you know, all of your muscles going and your blood flowing and all that stuff. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. I'm ready for it. Well, that wasn't the best decision, obviously. because I did one walk around the labor and delivery, and then the parents came in with the baby so that I can see Ella. And in the midst of that, I felt that I was passing blood clots, which, you know, is typical after a C-section. I don't necessarily know about vaginal, but I know C-sections, you're gonna bleed a lot. I think they're about the same. Whatever. Anyway, and I felt kind of dizzy. So I went to the bathroom to use the bathroom, try to pass that. And in the midst of that, I felt myself getting really lightheaded, like this. So I'm like, Trey, you know you don't like to pass out. Girl, you know you ain't about to black out in this bathroom, child. No, you're not. Grab on to something. Next thing you know, I wake up. I'm on the floor. And I guess I hit my head on the bathroom, the shower step. It didn't hurt. So I don't know if I was being a diva and maybe I just politely laid my ass down. I'm not even sure. But yeah, that's where I woke up. And the nurse is standing over me. And all I can say is, I fell. And then the next thing you know, I open my eyes again. And there's like 5 nurses, like 3 doctors. And they're all telling me, Miss Garner, you had 2 seizures. Excuse me, what? 2 seizures? What? Yes. I woke up very coherent. I was able to answer all the questions in detail. I knew my name, my last name, where my mama lived, where my daddy lived, my kids, how many kids I have, and I knew all of that. So I don't know what happened. I found out later that it was an optical seizure. I think there's more to that word. But basically, it's not where you seize like this. It's more with your eyes. So even though my eyes is looking popping right now, a bitch was not looking popping when I'm staring at one of the nurses like hardcore looking possessed. And she's like, yeah, let me just turn your face, because I kept doing it like over and over and I was stuck. I'm not even sure. I need to do some research. I don't even know why it happened. Possibly because I was dehydrated maybe, or because of the loss of blood, in which I had to have 3 blood transfusions done and an x-ray just to make sure that everything was okay. And everything was okay. So that was very scary. And I'm glad that by the graces of God, it wasn't as severe as it could have been. But yeah. So anyway, after that, my blood pressure, they triple checked that like every hour on the hour to make sure that it wasn't elevating, and it wasn't. Basically, the whole situation was signs of preeclampsia. That's what I had. I do not have it now. It does go away. My blood pressure is A-okay. Now, after coming home, because I did get released the next day, after coming home, the first day I get home, you know, I sat down and I cried. Now, I know you're probably thinking this is where it kicks in, where you don't have babies, you don't have car seats or anything like that, bottles, nothing. I didn't even have breast milk. They just did not come in. I did cry happy tears. I felt proud. I felt that knowing that baby Ella was able to go home with one of the dads. Aura was there with the other dad and in the NICU still, but doing well. I felt that I had achieved something that a lot of people would probably scrutinize. A lot of people would have doubts about seeing if they would be able to go all the way through with it. But I achieved something that was a blessing for someone else that I did not even know. And I did it. And there was ups and there was downs, and there was times of regret, especially because the fact that me having gone through VSG and kind of being selfish in a way, like not wanting my body to get too big or what have you, I did it. And I was proud. And the dads, they've been keeping me updated. Aura is now at home, reunited with Ella. Lucy and Ethel are back. And they're doing so great. They text me every single day. I know that probably is going to fade, but you know what? We're like this, so I feel like we are an extended family. Now, let's get to the good part. Speaking of body transformation, how you feel? Treyonce went in there on a Friday at 224 pounds. Yes, I was all belly. Mind you, when I started the process, I was 185 pounds when I like officially got pregnant and, you know, all that good stuff. But at the time when I went in, I was 224 pounds of all belly bump. Picture here. Yep. When I got home, got on the scale, and mommy weighed 205 pounds. Hello. Now, as of today, Treyonce weighs 185 pounds with no problem, no issue at all whatsoever. And I'm elated. Like, hello. All right, God. God knew that I wasn't going to be able to do this without crying. So he was like, let me just get her back to her original weight. She can work from there. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I don't have to bust my ass in the gym to get under 200 pounds. No, I'm there already. So I'm content about that. I'm not going to lie. When I was in the hospital, though, I did bring my Premier protein. Can you see? Yes. I did bring those, and I was not playing. Like, time to reset. So this one's actually a new one. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it has caffeine in it. It's a cafe latte. Fire. Fire. Yes. So I did bring all of those just so I can get jump started right back on that protein. So I did the reset. I have been kind of back in the, you know, right after surgery mode, making sure that I'm eating high protein, low carbs, and yeah, and trying to do like the keto life at the same time. So anyway, I'm happy. This was a great experience. If anyone is thinking about becoming a surrogate, do it. Do it. Mind you, these were not my eggs, you know. The babies, they're beautiful, but they're not black. They're white. I can't get an attachment. They're not mine. But yeah, if you're thinking about doing it, do it. It's the most fulfilling thing that you could do for someone else and really fill a void. And I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy for the parents. And I wish that I could do it again, but I'm not going to risk my life. This is my 3rd C-section, so I definitely want to make sure that if I did have another kid, if I risk my life, it's for my own child. So I could put that on the list of things that when I step into to heaven, God, just mark that off. Anyways, make sure that you guys like this video. If you have any questions that you need answered, if you want to give your experience, if you know someone and you want the details of where I went, it's in California, to the surrogacy agency, please comment below. Make sure you subscribe so you know when Trey will be back, because I will be back. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, you know, be you. Nobody else can do that for you, boo-boo. All right, guys, till the next video. I'll see you later. Bye. Is it too soon to change my name? Just wondering.